I call the Planning Commission meeting for July 27, 2023 to order. We'll begin with the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jackie, will you call the roll?
Mr. Crocker?
Here.
Mr. Haddon?
Here.
Mr. Perkovich?
Here.
Ms. Small?
Here.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Here.
Mr. Varga?
Here.
Mr. Cook?
Here. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, July 6, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Haddon?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes, on tonight's agenda, we have two public hearings and we'll follow this format. First, the applicant will have the opportunity to explain what they would like to do at a particular location. Second, anyone wishing to speak in favor of this proposal will be given the opportunity. Finally, anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be afforded the time to do so. Or some people may just have questions and we'll get those answers. And with that, we have a conditional use permit to allow limited retail activities at 8613 Tyler Boulevard. Is that applicant here? Please come up, give us your name and address for the clerk, and tell us a little bit about what you want to do.
My name's Corey Cantrell. Address is 36372 Valley Ridge Drive. So today I'm here to talk to you guys in hopes to get a conditional use permit to have limited retail sales at my indoor golf facility that's opening up in September. These retail sales are just going to include simple things that complement our current services. That includes anything to repair a golf club that may be needed, adapters, grips, replace a shaft. Nothing very serious, just trying to offer some things so we could be more of a one-stop shop for our customers. So, with that, I can answer any questions.
Thanks. One second. Anybody here wishing to speak in favor of this proposal? Anybody wishing to speak against this? This public hearing is closed. Kathy, anything from the administration?
No, Mr. Chairman, other than the one condition we recommended.
All right. Anything from the commission members? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve with the one condition. Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Haddon?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a conditional use permit to allow a vehicle repair facility at 8659 Twin Brook. Is that applicant here? Yes. Please come up, give us your name and address for the clerk. Tell us a little bit about what you want to do.
My name is James Geisert, 7479 Murray Avenue, Mentor. Basically, what I want to do here is I own a number of vehicles that I collect, and I wanted to do maintenance on them and storage. Occasionally, we might do some work on somebody else's vehicle, so that's kind of why we thought the conditional use permit was the right way to go. And then the only other thing that I wanted to add was on the, I spoke with Kathy, and it says on the, I'm sorry, it says here about we're not going to do any painting there. We will do body work, but no painting. And then the proposed conditions 1 through 8, we have no problem complying. No problem at all.
All right.
So,
Thank you. Anybody wishing to speak for this proposal? Anyone wishing to speak against this proposal? This public hearing is closed. Kathy, anything from the administration?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Commission members?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Varga?
sounds like your hobby.
yes, I have 37 cars.
Well, you can't park 37 cars.
Absolutely
Right,
not.
okay,
No,
so,
but they need maintenance.
but they'll all be parked inside unless they're in good running order and you can park them
yeah,
outside?
no junk outside. Absolutely not.
Let me just ask a scenario here that would be the kind of thing I would see that would cause a problem down the line. You want to put a new set of tires on a car, right? You take the old set off. There's no dumpster. Where does the 4 tires go?
Well, You can't put them in the dumpster, one, but.
Well, okay, you can't put them in, I mean, where would you put them? Just as you'd keep them inside and then have
Yeah,
them?
there'd be like a tote, like we all use for waste management, for the residential. We would just keep that inside the building. There would be nothing
Okay, well, that's,
outside. Yeah,
that's
no.
like my only thought, is that
Yeah.
nobody really wants to see anything
No,
stacked
we
up
put some
outside.
flowers out there already and,
Okay.
anticipation of,
So nothing outside?
no.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve with the 8 conditions.
Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Hadden?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And items 3 through 7 in old business will remain on the table. Number 8, an architectural reimage of a commercial building, Chuck E. Cheese, at 8,000 Plaza Boulevard, Unit J. Is that applicant here?
Can you move it back to the
Sure.
end? Because they're supposed to be here, so.
All right, we're going to go to new business. Building addition, site alteration at 8505 Menor Avenue. You have to be the guy. Please give us your name and address, please.
Paul Circo, address would be 3142 Prospect Avenue in Cleveland.
Okay.
So, Ganley dealership has been approved and it's under construction right now. During the construction process, the contractor started removing some of the parking surface and discovered that the islands that were supposed to remain in the rear parking lot started falling apart. The curbs were formed out of asphalt. Those were not concrete curbs, and the landscaping was in poor condition back there. And he went ahead and removed the whole thing because it just started falling apart, with the understanding that he would put everything back as new. It was presented to Ganley team. They looked at other options and they would prefer not to replace one of the islands behind the building that it's not visible from the street, and just replace the one that is more visible and make it a little larger. And the trees that would have been on the island behind the building, those trees would be planted on the western buffer instead. Also, along the way, there is a lot of utilities being installed on site, underground structures, and that also damaged a lot of root system of existing trees, and some of those trees have been removed as well. And Ganley would like to just replace one of those islands, just relocate those trees, and replace the trees in the front instead.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, anything from the administration?
We've noted four conditions. We're okay with the revisions that they have recommended. And in the recommended conditions, we've specifically referenced the upgrades that they have submitted with the application so that that carries through, so.
Thank you. Anything from the commission members? I got a question. So the fence is on the property line
Yes.
and all the greenery is in front of it?
Chuck in the rear.
Yeah,
Rear,
right, the
okay.
rear. So during all this construction, what's the chances of us getting the fence up there early?
It's scheduled to be installed in March of next year.
So they'll build the whole building,
They build
they'll
the
do
whole-
everything, and then
And
the
then
fence?
the landscaping would come in last, yes.
Right, so I guess what I'm asking is, what's the chances of getting the fence in? Pri-
I can run it by Ganley team and construction team, because right now, the construction site is a mess. There's a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
in buffer area, and there's a good chance that the fence can get damaged during construction. There's so much going on.
Okay. All right, thank you. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve with the 4 conditions.
Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Haddon?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Architectural reimage of a commercial building, Chuck E. Cheese at 8,000 Plaza Boulevard, Unit J. Tell us a little bit about what you want to do with Chuck E. Cheese.
Mr. Chairman?
Sure. Hello, my name is
I'm
Andres.
still on the table.
What?
I think it's still on the table, hasn't been removed from the table yet.
I never table.
No, it was tabled from, it
Oh,
was
I'm
tabled
sorry.
from the last meeting.
I'll entertain a motion to remove number 8 from the table.
So moved.
Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Haddon?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Thanks.
Good evening. Hello, my name is Andreas Campos, and I'm representing our client Chuck E. Cheese. I work on behalf of Parkway Construction and Architecture. And so we have submitted some plans here that show the different colors. It is a remodel that we are hoping to do, and so these are the colors. And we wanted to at least bring it forth and share these colors to make sure they're in line with what this area would be approved for. So I'm mainly here to answer any questions that you may have specifically, but it's pretty self-explanatory as far as the colors are concerned. Chuck E. Cheese right now is remodeling all across the country. We're been contracted to do that, and so many of the challenges, of course, is the colors that are been submitted to the city. So, you know, we'd like to be upfront and let you know these are the colors that have been chosen by the design team, and that's where we're at this time, and wanted to share that with you. I do have some additional samples if you just need a little bit more hands-on, but we did submit some color boards that you can take a look at. So in essence, we're bringing back Chuck E. Cheese, and you know, I didn't bring the mouse with me to show you.
No
his,
tokens? or
no
anything?
tokens or anything like that, but we're definitely excited about the refresh remodels that are happening all over the country. So
Kathy, is there anything from the administration?
Well, we were a little concerned about the vast amount of green because of the existing color of the facade, which is that beige you see on either side.
yes,
The current Chuck E. Cheese at least has that checker design, which has some beige incorporated into it. We did pull a couple of other samples, Mary, if you wouldn't mind pulling those up, of some existing that we found.
Yes.
One of the recommendations was there a way to incorporate at least more of that beige into the facade design? That's a lot. But that was maybe a reduced version, and that maybe would be something maybe a little bit more palatable. And again, still bringing in some of the beige of the adjoining facades. So that was the main recommendation of the administration, and that's noted in item 2. So if you want to modify that, I just wanted to point that out. That's under item 2.
Thank you. Anything from the commission?
Let me ask a question.
Mr. Varga.
These images that you've got here, that you've shown on the screen, are they compatible with your new imaging program? Do they represent other facilities that have been upgraded?
yes. So what you see there is what the cities or the commission has approved in those cities and those municipalities. Some of them have been tailored. So it starts out what you've seen, what Ms. Mitchell has received, and from there we make some design fixes that will, make it, like she mentioned, tone down the green, things of that nature, so we can fit the design that would be best fit for, say, in the city of Mantor. So that's where we're at. That's the design scope of it from the architecture standpoint, but then it gets, tailored to fit what everyone is agreement with. So that's That's correct. It does have some representation of what you've seen with the example she shows. They've been probably tampered down a little bit with colors.
Well, so my reaction is that, this is, all this stuff is painted on, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, in your proposal for this location, everything is just painted on.
Correct.
But you've gotten rid of the awnings? There were awnings there?
There were awnings there. They will be replaced by a red lip that is somewhat plays as an awning, but it's what you see there. That's pretty much the facade that you'll see. It's mainly the colors that we've had to tamper down, if you will.
Well, I think I kind of feel like the city does, like the city's response to this, which is, right now, if you backed away and you looked at the whole length of the front of the shopping
Yes.
center, like this,
Correct.
that even the existing thing sticks out quite a bit as being different, but it's
Right.
at least the same color palette.
Got it.
Maybe something like what we saw that last example, but realizing there's some relief and there's a more architectural detail there, but
Yes.
to be able to do something more, I think, like that.
Right.
Maybe the green area around the mouse,
Yeah.
might be more limited to a central
That's Chucky.
feature. Chucky,
Yeah.
yeah, Chucky. Might, instead of being the whole wall, maybe something just more around his image
Okay.
and like incorporating more of the colors of the, so it doesn't look like it's like a circus tent. I mean, it
Right.
looks out of place, so. That's just my opinion, but I'm kind of I lean towards what the city's comments
Sure.
were, so. I
appreciate
don't
it.
know if there's other comments.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Perkovic?
this is for the applicant. I know the green is the, let's call it the standard that you're shooting for. Are there any representation of no green at all? For example, playing up the brown, I get that there might be a way to lessen that green, but are they dead set against?
From my experience, most recently is that there has been some pushback on the green, and so yes, there is. That is open for discussion. I can go back to my client, and we have had instances where the green has disappeared or been very minimal in order to align with what's in the area as far as, say, strip mall, a mall in general, or just the buildings next to it. So I can take that information definitely to the architect team, and we might be able to come up with different other
And
designs.
I think that if you had one or two examples, even if it was, as Jeff mentioned, lessening the green into a smaller area,
Right.
but also maybe an alternate B,
Right.
as long as they're okay with that, that
Sure.
might be something that would work for us.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take that. Appreciate it.
Anything else?
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Smalls?
I just wanted to point out that these awnings are green as well, and maybe you can utilize that to integrate with
Right.
some of the color scheme, and maybe you can tone down some of the really bright greens and utilize some of that darker green to match the existing awnings on the shopping center.
I agree. I'll definitely pass that information. I know that usually when they do a site visit, it's the architect and they have this vision with the client. So I'm sure this was to appease the client, but that's what we're here for, or at least I'm here for, to let them know we can have other strategies as far as design to make it more presentable and not stand out too much and from a bright standpoint.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Varga?
I think the way to proceed is to table this and then take the information or the ideas that we've mentioned and then come back with
I appreciate
another
it.
proposal.
Will do. I'll contact Ms. Mitchell further for that.
So I make the motion to table.
Second.
Jackie, please call the roll.
Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
Mr. Haddon?
Yes.
Mr. Perkovich?
Yes.
Ms. Small?
Yes.
Mr. Tiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Kathy, anything?
Nothing else.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.